helped me love school. At a very young age, music gave me purpose. I'll never forget the first time I performed on the stage. It changed my life, and I became a whole nother person. I couldn't imagine my life if I did not have a music program at my school. Save the Music is such an important program for kids because it gives kids hope.
Did you know that every time musicians pick up their instruments, there are fireworks going off all over their brain? On the outside, they may look calm and focused, reading the music and making the precise and practiced movements required. But inside their brains, there's a party going on. How do we know this? Well, in the last few decades, neuroscientists have made enormous breakthroughs in understanding how our brains work by monitoring them in real time with instruments like fMRI and PET scanners. When people are hooked up to these machines, tasks such as reading or doing math problems each have corresponding areas of the brain where activity can be observed. But when researchers got the participants to listen to music, they saw fireworks. Multiple areas of their brains were lighting up at once as they processed the sound, took it apart to understand elements like melody and rhythm, and then put it all back together into unified musical experience. And our brains do all this work in the split second between when we first hear the music and when our foot starts to tap along. But when scientists turned from observing the brains of music listeners to those of musicians, the little backyard fireworks became a jubilee. It turns out that while listening to music engages the brain in some pretty interesting activities, playing music is the brain's equivalent of a full-body workout. The neuroscientists saw multiple areas of the brain light up, simultaneously processing different information in intricate, interrelated, and astonishingly fast sequences. But what is it about making music that sets the brain alight? The research is still fairly new, but neuroscientists have a pretty good idea. Playing a musical instrument engages practically every area of the brain at once, especially the visual, auditory, and motor cortices.
I mean, you always had an art teacher and a music teacher. You could be in the poorest school district in the world. Now, I'm not saying music was always exciting, right? I mean, sometimes, to music, everybody had access to art. And the reason is because people understood, even though they hadn't done the scientific research back then, we have done now, that children who learn music actually do better in math. Kids whose imaginations are sparked by the arts are more engaged in school. So these things aren't just extras, they are part of a well-rounded education. The endowment for the arts, our support of the public arts, our support for arts institutions, all those things should be a priority, and they don't cost that much money. They really don't. But you get such a big payoff. And one last point, I made this actually yesterday in Scranton. Part of what arts education does is it teaches people to see each other through each other's eyes. It teaches us to respect and understand people who are not like us. And that makes us better citizens, and it makes our democracy work better. And that's something that I strongly believe in.